Oh, yeah, yeah. Did you get a haircut, by the way? You look pretty good. Yeah, no, it looks good. You look good. How's the wife and kids? Oh, hey, guys. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. Just talking with my new friend here. Yeah, turns out he's actually a pretty chill dude. Yeah, so unfortunately I'm not going to be shooting these targets anymore just because we've come to a new understanding with these guys. So just going to have to find something else to shoot at in these videos, but at least we got a new friend here. I'm just kidding. Cardboard can't talk. Alright guys, we got a fun video for you today. So I've had my eye on a brand of optics called Cyelee for a little bit now, mostly just because they're extremely cheap. Like most of their red dots are $200 or cheaper, which I guess isn't anything new if you go on Amazon, but from the research that I've done myself, it sounds like these red dots are actually pretty decent for the price and that they hold up pretty well. So when Cyelee reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to review our new Cat Zero pistol optic, I said yes, absolutely, send one out. So that's what we've got today that we're going to be looking over, and we're going to see if a $150 carry red dot is worth your money or if you should save and get something a little bit more expensive. And before we start this video, I want to tell you guys about Onias safes. So Onias sent me out their Iron Pro pistol lockbox, and I really like this little lockbox. You can open it with a code, you can open it with a fingerprint, you can open it with your keys. Of course, to me, storing guns safely is extremely important, so having one of these to keep a pistol in just to keep it out of the reach of children or other people who shouldn't have it is great. These things can also store multiple sets of codes and multiple fingerprints if you want more than one person in your family to be able to access them. So yeah, if you guys are in the market for a little pistol lockbox to keep your pistol and other valuables safe, you can use my link in the description and use my coupon code Luke Etherington to get a small discount. This also helps out the channel, so I really appreciate any of you guys to go check Onias out. And thanks Onias for sending this safe out. Alright, so here is our Cyelee Cat Zero. Now this is an RMSC footprint dot that is meant for concealed carry on smaller guns like that. Of course I have it mounted on my full-size M&P here. But just to go over some of the features of the dot for you guys, this thing comes in red or green dot. Personally I got the green one here. They are a top-loaded 1632 battery. They claim to have 50,000 hours of battery life, but that's probably on one of the lowest settings, as well as having shake-awake technology to conserve battery life. So unfortunately, I don't have the kind of ammo budget where I could put 1,000 rounds on an optic like this and then tell you guys whether it's worth it or not. So what we're going to do today is just beat this thing up a little bit. Now, I'm not going to try to break it.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
However, on the box for this red dot, it specifically says made for carry. And if you're marketing a red dot specifically for carry use, it definitely needs to be able to withstand a little bit of torture. So we're just going to smack it around a little bit and make sure that it holds zero and things like that, so that, you know, if you actually do carry this dot, if you were ever to drop your gun or smack into something, fall over, stuff like that, you know that the dot's going to hold zero, because honestly, if it can't do that, don't waste your money. That being said, this is the perfect time to tell you that Cyelee did send this red dot to me for free. I did not pay for this. As I said earlier in the video, I have actually had an interest in these optics, and I was kind of planning on doing a video on some of them already, so when they asked to send one out, I said absolutely. But of course, that does not mean I'm going to be nice. I'm going to test this optic for what it is, and if they're marketing it for a carry optic, that's the way we're going to test it. They also gave me a discount code though, however, so depending how this video goes, putting this at the start might not be the best idea, but if you guys do want to pick up one of these Cat Zeros for yourself after watching this video, you can use my discount code on Cylee's website and save yourself a little bit of money. So, alright, so I already did a zero on this red dot. You guys can see up here. I'm going to shoot a quick confirmation zero for you on this target down here so that you can see that it's zeroed, and then we'll go ahead and start smacking this dot around a little bit and see if it'll hold zero. Why don't you say zero again, bud? Jesus. Alright, so that group maybe went high just a little bit. That was more of me. I'm not shooting off of a rest or anything. That's just freehand. But you guys can see that's pretty well zeroed. So let's go ahead and start smacking this thing around a little bit. Alright, so now making another guest appearance on the channel, my bumper. We've used this to showcase a couple different things now, including destroying that beautiful $70 red dot from my last video. Oh crap. But we're going to use this. I'm just going to give her the old red dot slide rack here, because none of the glass on this dot sticks out past the aluminum bezel, so it should be alright to do this. We're just going to do this a couple times and we'll test zero. Well, if it tells you anything, That is taking all the bed liner off of my bumper, and actually did not even scratch the anodizing here on this red dot. You guys can kind of see that there. The front aluminum bezel on this thing looks fine. Nothing wrong with the glass or anything. So it held up to that, so now let's see if it'll hold zero. Well, that's not off to a great start, boys and girls. The zero definitely shifted to the left. Alright, so I'm going to immediately take back everything I just said. I went to correct my zero and readjust it so we could continue testing, and the gun shot this group right here, aiming at the C in the Charlie zone. It's maybe a little bit to the left, but really not. That's probably more me. So this group over here was definitely me. So I apologize, Cyelee. That was my bad. Your red dot definitely absolutely held zero after getting smacked around. So everything else that I just previously stated, take it all back. We're still in it. The dot hasn't lost zero, so we're just going to keep going. Alright, so again, we're going to use my bumper here. And instead of racking the gun down on the bumper, I'm going to take it like this, and we're just going to give her a couple taps. Not hard enough to bend this or break the glass. I'm just going to give her a couple firm schmacks, and we'll see if that's enough to make it lose zero. Oh. Well, that's not a good sign. Well, after just lightly tapping that optic a couple times, you guys can see there the glass is broken. I was purposefully trying to just very lightly tap that on my bumper. I was not hitting that hard by any means. And you guys can probably see there that crack in the top of the glass there. But just because the glass crack doesn't necessarily mean that it lost zero, so we'll check that anyway. So you guys can see here we shot 5 more shots, and they're just in the same overall group right here. So although the glass did crack, it still held zero, which honestly, that's pretty impressive. For a red dot to be able to crack the glass but still have the emitter hold zero, that's something that I didn't think a really cheap red dot would be able to do. So while the glass might have cracked, we still while the glass might have cracked, we have still held zero. So we're gonna go ahead and test this a little bit more. And at this point, if the glass is cracked, we might as well just break this thing and see how much it can take. Okay, so now our next step here is to do a little bit of dropping. Now, I'm a little hesitant to do this because this M&P that I have here is brand new, and I love it very much, and I'm scared to hurt it, but I'm doing this for the channel. We're gonna drop test this red dot on this nice rock here, and we're gonna hope I don't hurt my M&P. All right, I'm just gonna drop it from a couple feet, not quite, like about waist height, I would say. We're gonna see if I can land it on that red dot. Oh yeah, that was right on the dot. Oh boy. Well, we got some cracking now, boys. So you guys can see there, we have much bigger cracks going down all the way through the glass after that one drop. And I feel like it needs to be said that one drop was from about waist height, not even shoulder height, so that wasn't that crazy of a drop. However, the dot is still on and I can still very clearly see it, so we'll go ahead and shoot it and see if we still have zero. Wow, okay. Well, spank my ass and call me Jimmy. Huh? I'm actually very surprised that that still held zero. So even though our window is absolutely destroyed and has some huge cracks going through it, that still perfectly held zero there. So good job, Cyelee. All right, so what are my final thoughts on the Cyelee cat? Well, obviously, little bit disappointed in the amount of abuse that it can take. The smack on the bumper was not a very hard smack. The drop on the rocks was not a very high or hard drop, and that's all it took to break this glass. Now, of course, that being said, through all of that, it still held a pretty much perfect 0. I'm pretty impressed with that, so good on you, Cyelee, for that one. But now I also want to talk about the other things that I actually really like about this dot. First thing, the machining quality, I'm very impressed with. When I saw that this was a $150 red dot that they were sending me, I was definitely skeptical, but honestly, the machining quality is pretty much perfect. I'm very impressed with the machining quality. It looks fantastic. You've got a lot of great competitive features such as shake awake. You've got a top-loading battery that's easy to get to. I really like the buttons. I like having buttons on either side instead of only having buttons on one side. That's usually my preferred thing for pistol dots. They're big, easy to press, positive feedback buttons that I really like. The green dot, I'm a huge fan of the green dot. I have an astigmatism, so most dots to me don't look like dots. This one, being green, is actually extremely crisp. It's a very clean dot. The green gets extremely bright. Overall, I'm actually very impressed with the quality of this dot. Now, of course, it's funny hearing me say that when I just broke it, but you've also got to ask yourself, how much are you willing to sacrifice to save some money for a $150 red dot? How much torture should a red dot that only costs $150 be able to take? Honestly, if you ask me, even though the glass cracked, the fact that this $150 red dot still held 0 through everything that I did to it is very impressive, and I actually do want to recommend this red dot. I think for most people, if you were to put this on your EDC and carry it around, you know it's going to hold 0. You know you're going to be able to shoot with it if you need to. If you're the kind of person who you're a little more rough on your stuff and you know you might drop it or smack it into things, maybe look somewhere else. But if you feel like you don't need a red dot that can withstand being smacked around and you just need a red dot that you know is going to hold 0, this is definitely not a bad option. So thanks again to Cyelee for sending this red dot out for some testing. Hopefully you guys don't hate me too much after this video. Just trying to be an honest guy here. And don't forget, if you guys use my discount code THIS, because I forgot what it was, you can save yourself some money if you want to go pick one of these up. And again, you guys can use my link in the description to go check out Onias safes if you guys want to get yourselves a pistol lockbox. And before I start sounding too much like an actual YouTuber, that's about all I've got for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Go down below, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you guys thought about this. Let me know if you guys have had other experiences with Cyelee optics and how those have been. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget, it's better to be ignorant than to be a liar.